What's going on, guys? Today we have a quick updated hunter build using a middle tree Arcstrider subclass, and what this build does is give you your arc staff much quicker than normal while dealing more damage and having that super last longer than usual. This is a pretty quick and simple build for those that want an updated hunter arc staff build to use in Season of the Lost. So guys, before we start, be sure to check out my sponsor below for cheap Destiny Silver and use my code DIVIDE when checking out for a discount. And now as always, leave a rating, comment your thoughts on the arc staff super in 2021, and let's build. Now as always, if you like these videos and you want to see more like this, I do cover them weekly, and that full playlist of new, updated and top tier builds to use is below. But with this build, you will be able to get your super slightly faster than usual, but this is a really simple and straightforward build updated for this season, so there's not that much different, if anything at all, from previous seasons. And this is a build I've wanted to cover for a while now, so let's get straight to it. So starting off, the way you'd use this build is first use your finisher on an ad. This will spawn 2 arc elemental wells, and then picking up those wells will give you 4 stacks of charger light. Then throw your grenade for super energy, along with getting a combination of grenade and melee kills, and eventually you will get your super a lot quicker than you usually would. Just remember to get another 4 stacks of charger light for when you have your super, so that you can throw another grenade right after using that super. Now this is a fairly simple build that doesn't require too much effort to make and use, so let's move on to setting it up. As always, starting with that loadout, your options are open for you to use whatever you want. But if you want fast supers, then I'd suggest using weapons that have a fresh perk to generate super energy, or even a bad juju, which you can get from the exotic archive at the tower. But for your subclass, you can use any arc tree of your choice, but I thought the middle tree was the best, as you can resist a lot of incoming damage by guarding, and you can triple that arc staff damage after doing so. But with this on that middle tree, we also have ebb and flow, where hitting a target with an arc ability and then meleeing them will grant us energy to all our abilities, which can be good for chaining those abilities. And then lastly, we also have lightning weave to increase weapon reload speed when hitting adds with that melee. I'd stick on a gambler's dodge to get that melee back instantly when dodging near an enemy, but this is just my preference. As for the exotic armor for this build, we will be running the Raiden Flux. This reads, quick successive attacks with arc staff increases its damage output and duration, and this super can last a stupidly long time, which is great for ad clearing in most types of content in the game for PvE. And this actually used to be one of the best subclasses and exotics to use against bosses like the Gambit Primeval boss, as you could just keep them staggered constantly, so they never yeet your team away while they're using swords on that boss, but overall a pretty good exotic all round. Now for your main mods, the very first thing will be Overcharge Wellmaker. This is to spawn elemental wells when using a finisher, which will spawn 2 arc elemental wells, but your alternative to elemental wells if you don't have them will be Taken Charge and Stacks on Stacks. But with Overcharge Wellmaker, throw on an elemental charge so that we actually become charger light when picking up those 2 arc elemental wells, and we will instantly get 4 stacks of charger light from that one finisher. The next mod though will be the new seasonal artifact mod, which is Well of Potency, and this will give us super energy when we pick up those wells, and of course you will need a supercharge to hold an additional 2 stacks of charger light, making our total become 4. And then that last mod will be Energy Converter to get up to 50% of your super energy when we throw a grenade. If you don't really care about fast supers and you'd rather be able to stay alive more, then throw on a protective light instead. But for normal mods, starting with a helmet, we do have 2 hands-on for bonus super energy on melee kills. For the gauntlets, we have Impact Induction to reduce the grenade cooldown when causing damage with our melee, Concussive Dampener for the chest to resist incoming area of effect damage, your cooldown mod of your choice for your leg armor, and then Distribution to reduce all ability cooldowns when using your class near enemies. And you should be doing this anyway, as we are using that Gambler's Dodge. For your stats, I'd max out Discipline to 100 if you can, along with Mobility. Now I know this build was a fairly quick one, but there was no reason to make this longer than it needs to be, as it is a pretty simple build. But overall, it's not my favourite build in the game for the Hunter, but it's definitely something to use if you are planning on using the Hunter's Arc Staff or the exotic chest, or if you just want to try a completely different build for the first time. But guys, this is your newly updated Hunter's Arc Staff build in Destiny 2 Season of the Lost. Next, as always, be sure to check out that playlist below for more awesome top fun builds to use in Destiny 2 2021. And for now, give this one a try, and I'll catch you all very soon for the next one.